All right, hello everyone. I wanted to title this video, Why Do I Give Up Before I Even Start? And the reason why I'm titling it this, I have just a number of different reasons, a number of different things boiling around in my head. That's probably the wrong way to say it, but let me just jump right into it. So recently, if you've seen some of my earlier videos, and if you haven't, that's okay. I just started this process to try to track my habits essentially. And I have a list of habits that I want to start doing. For example, one of them is to exercise, 3 times a week, doing cardio, for example, or also to read every day, things like that. These sort of measurable goals that I have set in place for myself. And I'm taking this one sheet of paper, and every day I'm writing down whether I made it or not, and sort of which habits I did and which habits I didn't do. And it's basically kind of, for me, I saw someone else do it online, and it's sort of a process that I'm thinking might help me be more cognizant of how I'm actually working on these habits, and also just a way to try and say, oh, I want to make the green box. I got to get the green box. I got to check it, you know, and that way I'll have that sort of little bit of self-worth for the day. But I feel like it isn't working already. And here's just something that I'll leave now is I have a list of 7 different categories, 7 different habits that I'm trying to hit every day. And I'm not making a couple of them, for example. So for example, say I don't read that day, right? If I'm heading towards the bedtime and I still have a few habits that need to be checked off, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to read. I'm too tired to read. So maybe that means that, I am going to miss exercise for the day. I can do it tomorrow sort of thing. So it's the standard procrastination. But what I'm realizing is the issue is that the box being green or whatever, the box being highlighted means that I need to hit all of the 7 habits. And that's hard. And for that reason, if I miss one habit, I'm like, oh, it's okay. Oh, I'll miss the day, which means missing one is just as bad as missing 7. So I'll just miss all 7 sort of thing. And so that's definitely the mindset that I don't want to fall into. And how does that relate to giving up early? Well, I think of this, and the first thought that's already in my head, this is day 6. I'm like, well, it's not working. I should just give up. I should just take down the few videos that I've had on YouTube so far that talk about this habit tracker, because it's, I don't know, maybe it's embarrassing to fail, but also to fail publicly too. Even if it's just a very small thing. I think I've had very few views, which is totally fine. But it makes me feel like I should just give up. I should just move on. I should just do something else. But I don't really want to do that. I want to have this habit tracker work, because I feel like it'll help me personally. And I don't know, for example, I just stepped on the scale today and I weighed 10 pounds more than my previous record, or 7 pounds more. And I was like, ooh, that is not good. I'm gaining weight, right? So it's just something that, and I'm like, oh, well, the exercise thing would help me, but I'm worried about making this goal, and now I'm going to get rid of this plan. And so essentially what I need to do is sometime in the future, I want to rethink how can I actually make this habit tracker such that I'm not saying 7 missed habits is as bad as 1 missed habit. And maybe that means more likely just focusing on less habits at a time. So, I could focus on just exercise, reading, and that's it, for example, having the 2 habits. So I might actually change that up. But I'm going to go through to the first whole week, and I'm going to talk about how I did on the first week on the channel later. But that's for the next video. That's for in 2 days. I think on Sunday, because tomorrow I think marks day 7, something like that. Yeah. Anyways, so the other thing that came to mind was how I was watching this one video, right? And it was talking about this one creator that hadn't been doing social media for a ton of time, like maybe under a year, consistently. And I don't know, they hit like $20,000 a month between all their income sources, which is really awesome. And it's funny because it gets me to think about, I've been doing a similar, not super consistent, but semi-consistent posting for about a year on my music TikTok and channel and stuff. And it gets me thinking like, oh, like a lot of what content creators say is like, they're just like, just start, just start, just start. And I think to myself, well, I have started. I'm not afraid of putting myself on camera and putting it online, as you can tell right now. I mean, I'm just yapping at this point. I'm blabbering. But anyways, so that's not the issue. There are other components to it. There's this sort of, it just has to be interesting. It has to be engaging content. So I don't know whether this is working. Like this could be entirely unengaging content of me just talking at the camera. But I know I've seen it work in other channels. But I guess my point is now it's just like, it makes me feel like, oh, I need to go out and I need to just focus on one thing, So that's why I'm also trying to start this YouTube channel. But then now I'm just like, well, it's been a week or two, I don't even know. And I'm just making these videos, but they don't have this sort of, it's not showing a portfolio. It's not, it's not showing any of my like certain skills that I have. It's just more of a personal, like reflective type channel. And so now I'm like, oh, so maybe I should just give up in this format and try a new one. And again, I'm giving up before I'm even starting. It's crazy. And maybe that's just part of me. I like to do a lot of different things. And I have the ambition to sort of, be like that content creator and establish a sort of online presence and things like that. But it almost just feels like this. It's great because it inspires a lot of ideas, but it's also like I can't stick to one idea. And not being able to stick to one idea means that the rest of my ideas are kind of lackluster. Like the effort might be there for little spurts, or it might be there severely inconsistently, but it is not there entirely on a routine schedule. So that might also be the reason why I'm giving up so early. That being said, I'm not giving up. I'm not going to stop this YouTube channel, these sort of long form, me just talking at the camera type videos yet. No, I'm just going to say, forget the word yet. Nope, forget the word yet. So I'm not going to do that. And then I will also update people on the habit tracker tomorrow or whenever I need to, and give my sort of thoughts on the whole process. Because if anything, I can't even give up before the first update. That'd be a little wild. But yeah, the week 1 update will be coming out, I guess, tomorrow, the next day. So thanks for watching. Please follow along. I'll probably talk about more stuff in these videos. But for now, you're just going to, from this channel, all you're going to get on the long form section is just me talking about different things in my life and me going over this habit tracker and anything else that's on my mind. So thank you so much for watching. Bye.